Here we go. What up, 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 what up? Listen, I'm working on my what ups because, again, that's my contribution to Brooklyn Bears and Ball, y'all. What's going on, family? How everybody doing out there? We are back one more time. It is an early Saturday morning here, East Coast, West Coast, but we covering the whole land. And listen, guys, we are about to get it in today. We got some reviews already going on before we went live, so we're gonna bring all that good energy back into the show. But listen, man, it's Brooklyn Bears and Ball Sports Show. Y'all know what to do: like, share, subscribe. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, you know what I'm saying? We popping now. We got where else we on? Where else we at, D? I keep forgetting. Where we at?
We're on X. We're on X now.
X, yeah. Okay, X, yeah, which is Twitter. I gotta say X now. I gotta kind of remember the, you know what I'm saying, but you know. But at the end of the day, man, we are here. I got Don, I got Scrap, all things Philly, all things San Fran, the Bears in the building, Philly's in the building, Brooklyn's in the building by way of Atlanta, or Atlanta's in the building by way of Brooklyn, however way you want to word it. We're just here. And I'm the guy that's losing. So at the end of the day, we here, guys. So listen, what's going on with your Scrap? What's good with you, my brother? You got the 6 of popping hat. I ain't saying nothing about the L yesterday because it ain't a legit L because your whole team was, I mean, everybody, your trainers were hurt. You know what I'm saying? The ticket boy is hurt and the bus driver is hurt. Everybody's out. So trust me, I ain't going to rag on you today, man. But it's all things Philly for you, my brother. What's good with you, man?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Just sitting back enjoying the ride, no matter how bumpy it is. I'm here for it. Yeah, we got injuries, but we got players that's capable, man. We could.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
that is good.
We lost. Some games we lost was close, and then others weren't. So I feel like as PG get his game shape back and his legs back, we'll be a little bit more successful. I think he only scored like 9 points last night or something like that. We missed.
Oh yeah, he got his legs.
When I'm watching us play, I noticed that. And this is pretty much the whole NBA. Like 2 points don't really count for points anymore because nobody really wants to take 2-pointers anymore. Everybody wants to shoot from the logo. Everybody wants to shoot threes. Even in a layup situation, you got people stepping back 3 steps for a 3-pointer. So
right.
Once we adapt to my, once we adopt my philosophy that oatmeal is better than no meal, we'll start taking the points when they're there on football and basketball, man. I'd rather come back with 2 points than no points,
Facts.
So, but we'll see, man. The big man's supposed to be back, I think, Tuesday for the Knicks game. So now I don't know how that's going to work with the suspension. What they should have did was declare them back 3 games ago. So all right, he's back, serve your suspension, and now let's go. So we'll see, man. But I'm good, man. My bird's going, put the paws on somebody. We'll put the wings on somebody this week, man.
Let's listen, before we get into it, because we didn't even start the intro. This is just a, all right. I don't need to let you know or keep you updated. No. Let's get to it. Without further ado, let's rock it. What's going on, everyone? Listen, week 10 has already started, and Thursday night was an excellent game. Excellent. Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens was, highly impressive game. And I was thinking to myself, if Cincinnati ever had a chance to, save and redeem their season, it would start Thursday. And it was just the biggest problem with Cincinnati is their defense. And I'm wondering, although T. Higgins has been injured and they're competing at a high level over the last couple of weeks, being pretty much now, I wouldn't say one-dimensional, but from the passing standpoint, you have just one target to either guard, try to take away, and you can't take away Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is balling out. Chase Brown gives a good balance in the run game. So it's like it's tough to be that close, play at such a high level, and still lose. So I think from a standpoint, it's safe to say now they have an outside chance if some other teams lose to maybe squeak in, but I think the AFC is too competitive for them to actually have an opportunity to make the playoffs. But what a waste. And The fact is that you're wasting time because T. Higgins is gone, and Cincinnati being cheap, similar to, kicking the can down the road like the Cowboys have done, they're going to wind up overpaying for Jamar Chase. He's worth every penny, but you could have gotten him a lot cheaper. Now that he's balling out and leading in every receiver category, yards, touchdowns, of course,
targets,
you're going to really have to pay. And when you pay and you have your quarterback and receiver, wait a minute, what is that? That sounds like another team where you only have your quarterback and receiver. Most of your money is going to them and you don't have anything around them. Well, okay, let me get focused.
I digress.
Let me get back to it.
I'm here. I'm taking the hits. I can take. At least I can take hits. I just gotta
body blows. They're all body blows. The difference is Cincinnati has a running back for cheap, right? Chase Brown is not going to get any big contract next year. They just got Khalil Herbert, so they can sustain being top heavy, if you will, where you have all of your money is on one side of the ball, because clearly they're going to be paying a ton of money. Chase a ton of money, and they already took care of Joe Burrow, so it's going to be a tough situation moving forward unless they can get some players for cheap. I think it's going to be bad. What do you guys say?
I say, first of all, Baltimore, y'all owe me a rumble because y'all knew y'all supposed to give Derrick Henry that ball on the 2 or 3 yard line. I needed one more touchdown for him, So with that, but I will say that was one of those games that you didn't want to see end for real, because it was like a heavyweight fight. They was just exchanging like all big shots, no jabs, just all big shots. And Jamar Chase, I think he left Earth for a minute that game, man. You looked up, this dude had 250, 4 touchdowns, or something crazy. Like those are video. Those are video game numbers, man. Those are when you put it on easy and you just say, I'm just gonna throw bombs to this guy all day. What he had 14 catches on 17 targets or something like that. It was all world stats. You see what I'm saying? So, but unfortunately, it had to be a loser, and the loser is another team that fell victim to a bird team, those Bengals. So they probably got some Bengal skin jackets down in Baltimore this morning, the next day. But it was taking nothing away from Cincinnati, because they played an excellent game. It's just, their best wasn't good enough. It went into overtime. They covered the spread, so that could be the bright side if there's one to look at. They fought with them, but their last game they played and they went into overtime. So they always play Baltimore tough. It just never translates into a win, because they 1-9 against Baltimore now, something like that. Burrow against
head to head, I think is 1-8. I think.
All right, 1-8. I was
1-8, 1-9. I think they are. He owns them, just like pretty much. Patrick Mahomes owns 5. He's 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1. That's weird. Sorry. I thought it'd be more than that, but yeah,
I thought it was 5.
5-1.
Oh, Burrow's 5-1.
Yeah,
against Baltimore?
Against who? No. Burrow, Lamar Jackson against
5-1 against Burrow.
Oh, we was talking about
5-1.
Burrow. All right.
Yeah.
So you're looking at it from the winner standpoint. You normally don't do that. All right. Well, so Jackson is 5-1 against Burrow, so that makes Burrow 1-5 against Jackson. All right, cool.
And Mahomes kind of owns Lamar, so it's crazy.
It all evens itself out. That's called the food chain. That's the food chain. Yeah. That's how the pecking order goes.
What's Shanahan's record against Mahomes? I'm just trying to pull that up. That was talking about.
Here we go.
Pull it up.
Here we go.
What is?
We know it's 0. Whatever it is.
That's fine. I just want to know. I want to know what Brock Purdy's record is against a $60 million quarterback.
Donald not to be denied.
Donald not to be denied, right?
He
I set myself up for that.
So, wait.
I can't believe, right? We were just trying to have a regular, easy show.
Come on, don't say that. You threw shade just a minute ago, told my. That sounds familiar. There is another team with just a paid quarterback and receiver, nothing else left for the rest of the team.
James, top of the morning to you.
What up, James? What's good, bro?
What's up, Paulie?
Probably nighttime or at least late evening on his side of the town, maybe. I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. It has to be.
But not even 10 minutes in, and you guys are exchanging blows, man. I like this.
I'm gonna let it go.
No, we're not. Listen,
hey, this has the makings of a 2-hour show, man.
I know. No. We're going. No, not today. Not today. We're going to keep it simple. Ultimately, I say this. Baltimore. Now, this is the concerning part. The fact is we look at how great Lamar Jackson is. We look at how great Derrick Henry's been, but their defense, you can score on them.
Trash.
You can really put up points against them. Easily. And so you just have to be, if your defense is halfway decent and you can put up points, because you're going to have to be able to put up points. Because, Baltimore, let's face it, they can manufacture some type of points. Now, I will say this from a fantasy standpoint. The biggest disappointment was Deontay Johnson. Why did you bring Deontay Johnson there if you have no plans on using him? Decoy. Now, I can see bringing him there if you had one of your wide receivers injured and you're trying to replace that production. Deontay Johnson, when he was with the Steelers, he's looking for that ball, right? He was a target machine. So in Carolina, he was a target machine. You bring him there, it brings down his value. He's already seeming somewhat disgruntled over his usage over the last 2 games. So, it's going to maybe take an injury to Rashad Bateman or Zay Flowers for him to get the ball. And now that Mark Andrews is coming back to into form, listen, he's just going to be a bench. They might put him on special teams, or like a
how was Aguilar on the field over him? Maybe because he knows the playbook better?
I would think so. But listen, there is no new. It's just the terminology. All of the stuff, all of the plays. The 49ers run plays that people can't wrap their mind around. I get that. But by and large, receiver plays, it's just getting open, accustomed to the verbiage and the whatever this is 42 skidoo on this team and it's a skip to my Lou on that team. Yeah. There's no new plays, right? And he's a veteran receiver, so he should be able to get up to speed. And we know he's better than Aguilar, right?
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they would pick him up if they had no desire to. Maybe they're looking for the stretch run. Someone always gets injured, and he might be there to, fill in. By then he'll be up to speed. Well, who knows? But what do you guys think about Joe Burrow and this whole process? You think that's with them losing, definitely going to lose T. Higgins? What's the future of the team? Will he just be a Dan Marino, like a great quarterback, statistically balls out, but is not able due to whatever reason, maybe the teams that are in his way or just not being able to get over the hump? What do you guys say?
I think with Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they got to start faster. They usually come out the gate slow, and I think now this is the year where it's catching up to them. They've been able to overcome sometimes the slow starts, which is impressive considering how competitive your conference, their division has been. But I think they're gonna have to start finding ways in the ensuing seasons to come out, playing better football and not starting out, 0-3, 1-4, those kind of things, because that sets them back. And they need a running game. Losing Mixon was huge. That was a huge loss for them, not being able to backfill the running game that they had. So I think if they get that in place, they got to tighten their defense up a great deal. It's like a middle of a pack defense for the most part, but they give up 26 points a game. They, they're not bad in the secondary. They only give up 220 yards passing per game. That's not bad, but they give up 127 on the ground. So they just got to tighten some things up. Look, Burrow's going to be Burrow. You mentioned D. Will he be like a Mahomes? A Dan Marino at some point? I don't know. Probably as long as Patrick Mahomes is alive, most likely he will be. I don't know if he'll ever be able to get over Mahomes until Mahomes really starts to get into a decline of some kind, and the Chiefs kind of lose their dynastic feel and their prowess. But until then, yeah, he'll be around. He'll be in the playoffs. He'll be just like Josh Allen. They're going to be really good quarterbacks and play really well, put up some good numbers. But at the end of the day, and Burrow is a bad boy. He's definitely, in my opinion, top 5 in quarterbacks in the league. And he's already taken his team to a Super Bowl, even when he had a bad offensive line, for that matter, So he knows how to carry a team, but he's going to need some help. Higgins is gone. That is huge, D. So that's a valid point you made with that. But so they're going to have to find a way to kind of backfill that in with some cheaper players and coach those guys up. I think that.
What about that guy? They got I can't pronounce his name. The Io Silva dude. What's up with him?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He has flashes though.
Yeah, I don't think. Maybe once T. Higgins is completely gone, and now he knows that he has to step up into that, secondary receiver role. Maybe he'll get more opportunities. And
they got a rookie too. That's a pretty big receiver. He dropped a good pass the other night. I think a 3rd down pass. So I gotta find out what his name is.
That kid there you brought up, SKRAPP. So he's got 35 targets on the year with 17 receptions, 228 yards. So I don't know. For some reason they're not connecting.
But he got like 3 or 4 touchdowns or something like that.
He's got 4 TDs though. He's got 4 TDs.
Yeah. How many does CeeDee Lamb have?
Oh my God! Yo, you see, SKRAPP. Oh my God! What does CeeDee Lamb got to do?
That was a missed shot that he put back.
That was a missed shot.
Don's crashing the boards today.
He was just.
He's crashing boards.
Oh my gosh!
No,
I was just giving him some insight to the receiver he brought up. I don't even know the dude. I'm just showing you. You asked maybe he could be a little contribution. I'm giving you some context.
We know CeeDee Lamb, though, right?
What has Roger Staubach done lately?
No. I'm just saying. We're going to talk about the Cowboys very shortly.
Oh, I'm sure we are, of course.
But in any case, we'll see. It was an excellent game. I think the Bengals pretty much a toast. And I had made a prediction early on that because Joe Burrow is top 5 quarterback. Jamar Chase, top 2 receiver, that they would, the NFL would want those type of players and teams to make the playoffs. And I felt confident in the last couple of games that they would have a shot to actually win and get themselves slowly but surely back into it. Right now, I'm thinking with that type of loss, and I made a bold prediction. Hey, listen, Cincinnati Bengal fans, don't be discouraged. Your team's going to get in it some way, somehow. Now I'm looking at it. If they had won Thursday, I think they would have an opportunity to squeak in, but I just think it's going to be too tough for them. Unfortunately, never say never, but I just think the Bengals may have missed it.
Yeah, the Bengals caught bird flu 2 weeks in a row, man. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I thought that they would have beat you guys.
Is that what you're saying?
I thought that they would have. A couple of weeks ago, I made that. No, I don't think. Not in the AFC. It's going to be too difficult. It'll be tough for them to make the playoffs because think about it. The AFC North, you have the Ravens, Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers will be. They'll be.
3 is not coming. 3 teams aren't coming from the AFC North. I'm sorry.
No, but you think about
schedule don't look too favorable.
You're only gonna have you'll have the Texans probably right in the South, and then in the West it'll be a toss up between obviously Kansas City.
Chargers is going to make it.
Chargers will probably.
They got the Chargers.
That's it.
Next week.
Yeah, that's a wrap. You're not going to get 3 teams. They would need to have 3 teams to come out of the AFC North, and I don't see if it was
Chargers only 5-3. They're only a game back behind the behind. What are they 4? And what's the Bengals record? 4 and
No, I think they're 3-7, right?
Yeah, they only won 3 games, I think.
3-7.
Well, they're looking at their schedule. It's not too favorable because they got the Chargers.
Oh, they're 4-6.
Are they?
They're 4-6. Okay, 4-6.
So they could still make a. And let me see
No,
who they got
can't.
next. They got the Chargers up next. Ironically,
they got the Chargers, then the Steelers.
The
Then they got a layup. They go to Dallas.
They'll beat Dallas, and then
the Titans, Browns.
But those are let you tell it. Only the divisional games count, right, Rod?
Yeah, no, you're right. But
so beating Dallas doesn't help them.
They're in a position where they need wins now. You know what I'm saying?
You're always in the position where you need wins, Rod. That's my point.
But if you come down to but if they come down to a place where you got to do some tiebreakers and different things like that, if they lose, beating the Cowboys may or may not help them. It just depends.
Right. If they lose to the Steelers and lose to the Chargers, beating the Cowboys doesn't help them.
Right. No, you're right. I agree with you saying. Yeah.
So that's my point.
That's your point. I see what you're saying.
I don't see them having and who else do they play, Scrap?
They got the Titans.
Titans.
Read off their schedule. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good. They got the Titans, Browns, Broncos, and Steelers again. So they might
Broncos and the Steelers are going to be
they
tough
might win
outs.
2 games. They might win 2 games in that stretch. They might got 2 more wins on the season.
Broncos and Steelers is going to be a tough out, and they got the Steelers twice. They got the Chargers. That's going to be a tough out because now, Titans. Okay, they can beat the Titans.
I'm about to say the two winnable games look like Dallas and Tennessee look like the 2 winnable games because they can, even though they're home against the Browns, they could pretty much get scraped that game.
But fellas, don't sleep though. The Titans, they got the #1 defense in the league, right?
Don't care.
Yeah. They
who their quarterback is though, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
exactly. But don't care. Who is it? Mason Rudolph?
But I think
what's his name is back. His shoulders, he's good now. Will Levis.
You can't convince me that the Broncos and Steelers are that much better. The way Burrow is playing and him and Chase, you can't convince me that the Steelers are that. Steelers got a great great pass.
We're talking offensive line. So these are the things. Those teams can beat them because they're good at Cincinnati's weakness.
Yes.
They can run the ball, right? So say whatever you want. Steelers can run the ball. They'll put immense pressure on Burrow, right, to get that ball out. Yes, he's already proven with Baltimore, you can put up ridiculous numbers and still lose the game. So having 400 yards, I mean, Burrow threw for 428 and 4 touchdowns, and they still lost. So as long as you're not beating them, the problem is as long as the teams are competitive score-wise, and they can score. Steelers is showing now with what's his name that they can actually put up points. Their receivers are now getting the ball. It's not a little dink and dunk down the field.
Williams. We'll see how that works. I think
that'll help. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a possession receiver. I think that's going to help out. So we've talked enough about them. Let's move on. Let's talk about a real team who is getting all of their players back. Okay. San Francisco 49ers are playing Tampa Bay. Listen, CMC is back. Juwan Jennings back. We know Brock Purdy. We're coming off of a bye. I think this is a get-right game. Now, mind you, let me just say this. The 49ers, their season, we have a difficult schedule ahead. We don't have an easy schedule. But I do think the majority of our games, if CMC is healthy, and my suggestion is that although CMC is coming back, he has gone through they eased him back in. He says he feels good, no pain. I think that they should still use Jordan Mason and use CMC, at least for the first 2 weeks, exclusively in the red zone. CMC doesn't have to have 25 touches a game. If his touches are impactful, 12 touches, and you get 2 touchdowns out of it, that's what we're looking for. So you use Mason, use Garindo, all between the 20s, and then you get him in there in tight situations because from an offensive standpoint, receiving standpoint, it's going to be very tough to guard him. In short down situations, if you want to punch it in, if you want him to line up as a receiver, I just think the motion, I think we are going to be back. We're getting healthy at the right time. And I like our chances against Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa Bay is not going to be an easy game because, you know, they're going to throw the ball 50 times. Their running backs aren't really good in running the ball, but they're good receiving. So Baker Mayfield is who was on the injury report with a toe injury. Seems like he's going to be good to go. I don't think he has an injury designation. So I think it's going to be a really interesting. Debo says he's back. We got Jennings back. Persol is going to be in the building. You know, of course, we have Kittle. I think our team is coming and aligning at the right time for a good playoff push. What do you guys say?
You'll win because Mike Evans won't play. So that's a huge loss. So he's not playing.
Hold on now. That's the only reason why?
Yeah. I think that's a big reason why. Mike, you don't think Mike Evans, I said Mike Williams. Mike Evans, you don't think Evans is a key
Have we beat them with Mike Evans? Of course we have.
But this Buccaneer team is a good team. To your point, you just said they're a good team. Did you not say they were a good team?
No, they are. Baker Mayfield is
why
playing.
Would they not even be better if Evans is playing?
Of
you
course.
Don't think they'll give you a
and Godwin.
Your secondary is not that great. I mean, it's not. You know what I mean? There's opportunity there. So I'm just saying, Evans is out. That's a big loss. That's the third game in a row he's missing. I mean, I'm just saying, let's put this in context here. I mean, you just like, we just going to go in there. We got Jesus Christ is back. You just like,
No, listen.
No, I'm saying.
What I'm saying is this.
All the angels is back.
Our team
is back. I mean.
Our team is coming back into form. I'm not discounting their team. I'm saying they have a good team. And injuries, hello, our running back is debuting week 10. So don't tell me about injuries. That is part of the game. Did every other team
injuries still put things in
context, every other team say we're not going to play them or try to beat them because CMC hasn't played this season yet?
Okay, right. But D.
So I don't care about Mike Evans. I hope he heals up.
You always say that's the great equalizer, right?
Yeah, of course.
That translates into context. That translates into the fact that the Niners probably been 29,000 games ahead in their division if you had all your players. So I'm saying you got to give them the same. You got to still give them that same context.
Give them what?
That they don't have one of their best players on offense.
If you have your players, you play with whoever you have, that's who you bring on the field, right? So if we don't have, now, Mike Evans is a really good wide receiver. CMC, do you think CMC's loss to the Niners this whole season? Let's remember that Tampa Bay only lost Mike Evans 2 weeks ago. CMC has not played the entire season. And nobody has given us a break. Nobody has cared when Debo was out. Nobody cared that we lost Ayuk. Like nobody cared about that. So I don't know why you would bring it up.
No, I'm bringing it up for the context of this game. I mean, the season injuries, but I'm saying we're talking about this matchup right here.
Okay, SKRAPP, take it easy.
Have Evans, so
call Sirianni. Call Sirianni and tell him to take it easy because Dak's hamstring is off the bone. You think they're going to do that?
What I'm saying though, that in the
nobody cares.
But again, nobody cares. I mean, we know nobody cares. They're still going to play the game. But I'm just trying to say, injuries make a difference. Just translate into last night's game in the NBA. The Lakers beat the Sixers, right? But I'm not sitting here blowing about the Lakers winning that game because they got nobody there. The players are hurt. So I'm saying what I'm saying is I'm not saying that the Buccaneers still can't be competitive in this game because they still are a well-coached team. They're a good team. But what I'm saying is that it is a factor when you have a guy that is hurt. I'm sure you still, at the end of the day, injuries and all, you would have won a few more games this year up to this point if CMC was there. That's all I'm saying, right? If he was healthy, y'all win some more. Y'all probably
so let me ask you a question. The way our team is coming into week 10 with our players, if Mike Evans was there, do you think it would make a difference? You think that they would win?
I think that increases their chances to win a great deal. Yes.
Not chances. Do you think they're going to win?
Defense. I didn't say chances.
Not chances.
I didn't say chances.
They're absolutely going to win if Mike Evans was there.
I think so. Yes, I do think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can beat them. I don't think the Niners.
I didn't say no. It's a yes or no. Right.
Y'all are not scaring anybody. I mean, the Buccaneers will line up against y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not.
Well, they have to line up against them.
Right.
No, what we asked is,
the question is this:
think that they would win if they had Evans?
If they had Mike Evans.
Yeah, I do, because I still don't think is Greenlaw on them back yet. Is to follow whatever his name is. Excuse me for enunciating.
Hufunga? No, he's not back yet.
That guy's out. So your secondary is still compromised for all intents and purposes. So I'm saying there's opportunity, and Baker Mayfield he's throwing the ball pretty good this year.
He is. Oh, he's throwing absolutely
good. They got some players that are playing pretty good. So I'm just trying to say, like, if you got a Mike Evans out there, even if he's even but a decoy to some measure, you'd have to scheme for him. Y'all don't have to scheme for him this weekend. So I'm just trying to say, yeah, that game could go either way. What's the spread on that game, by the way?
I think it's 8.5, is it?
8.5?
Maybe. I think so. Let me check. Don't quote me.
I think it might be 6. I think it's spread is 6, but
let me see in the pool, because I'm in a pool where we do spreads. So
Rod, I can't believe.
I'm just trying to say, like,
it's 5.5.
If they didn't have Mike Evans. And it's not. We got this guy. CMC don't. You got offensive players back. Yes, you do. CMC definitely, no question.
Right? Can you do me a favor?
You saying offensive players like he's just a regular dude?
Right? Can you do me a favor? Can you please look up the last time we played Tampa Bay? What the score was?
Oh my God, D. We gonna go.
No, I'm asking you.
Played.
Yeah, with Mike Evans and Godwin and CMC, all things being equal, we came in, I think, fully loaded. I just want to know what the score was to that game.
He don't want to share.
No, he don't. He don't want to. Now his computer's down, right?
I'm pulling it up.
He gonna have the phone.
14.
Oh yeah, what you say?
27-14.
Okay. Did Mike Evans play in that game?
I'm sure he did. I guess he did. I suppose he did. I'm
imagining you got the whole box score right there.
No, I got it right here. I'll tell you the whole box score right here. Yeah, Mayfield threw for 246, 29 and 45. Purdy was 21 for 25 with 333 yards with 3 TDs. McCaffrey
21 for 25.
And McCaffrey they shut down, by the way. He only had 20. He had 21 carries for 78 yards. So that's close to 4 carry. That's not great, but I mean that's not. Did
he have a touchdown? Did he have a touchdown?
No touchdown. He didn't.
Did Mike Evans have a touchdown?
Let me see what Evans what is the full. Let me check this here. Full box score. So Mike Evans, okay, receiving. Mike Evans had 5 for 43 and 1 touchdown.
Does that seem like he got shut down? He's the difference maker?
When y'all are a lot healthier in your secondary back then when y'all played them too than y'all are now. Was your secondary a little bit better back then when you had guys healthy?
Oh my God.
You had Greenlaw and other guys running around?
Right.
Your defense is not the same.
When was that game, Rod? When was that game?
Was in November. That was back in November.
So it was a year ago.
It was a year ago, 2023.
All right. Okay. Right. All right. Let's get a
November 19th to be exact.
So you think that the Bucs would really if Mike Evans, mind you, Chris Godwin has been playing better than Mike Evans, but you talking about Mike Evans, and Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame receiver, but you're not even. Godwin this season has played way better than Mike Evans.
Has.
But now you're talking. But if Mike Evans wasn't here, Mike Evans is coming back. He's supposed to be coming back, I guess, in 2 weeks. That's not our problem. Just like every other team that we played when we didn't have CMC, you think that they cared? Like, oh, CMC's not here. Let's not play. Let's bench some of our best players. No, you play who you play, whoever's in front of you, and whatever they're able to put out, they put out. Yes, right. The Lakers. You said the Lakers beat the 76ers, and all of their team, their main players, Embiid, Maxey wasn't there. You think will that still count as a win for your team?
Okay. Well,
Austin Reeves still hit 6 threes. He ain't turned it down.
No, but
he tried hard.
But D, you gotta keep it. You gotta keep this in perspective, though. Okay, when you look here, I'm just going by the stats. All right, Bucs offense, they're 5th overall. Okay, 5th overall in offense. All right, 49ers offense is number 2 overall. But when you look at their passing game, the Buccaneers, they're 5th in the league in passing. 49ers defense against the pass is 14. So that's roughly middle of the pack. So I'm saying, without Mike Evans, they still have some opportunity. But with the Evans, their chances increase. It always increases when you got a good player on your team that's playing.
What are we against the run? What are we against the run? If we're 14 against the pass.
Y'all are 6
okay.
against the run.
So overall, we're average a top 10 defense, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, your defense actually is
okay. I can live with that. I can live with that. We'll be okay. That doesn't mean
but you got to still keep it in context. If you're 14 against the pass, okay, that's not bad. It's not bad at all, but it's not great if you're going up against an offense that's number 5 against the pass, so they can throw the ball. I'm sure they're gonna look for opportunities.
Oh, Baker throws, he is balling out, and he throws 45 to 50 passes a game. But for comparison, what are the Cowboys against the pass?
Oh,
I just need something. No. I need something to compare it to. I know we're 14. We're 14. But
that's coming
for
up,
comparison,
in the next preview. That's coming up in the next.
Let's go to that. I'll tell you what that is in the next preview.
Yeah,
don't worry. We got a lot of
put a pin in that.
It's gonna be Scrapp's show in a minute. Scrapp's about to take over the show. He just sitting back.
So let's get a score for this game, and we'll start with Rod since he feels like Tampa Bay, it's a Mike Evans away from a W. Let's hear what's your score?
Honestly, I see this score being It's gonna be 29. It's gonna be 29.
29.
Yeah, 29-26. It's gonna be 29-26. Niners will win.
You think it's a field goal game?
Mm-hmm. I do.
No, you don't. You don't.
I do because you know why? I'm gonna tell you why.
What are you? What is that you drinking?
A little hooch.
Green tea.
He got a little hooch in there this morning.
My mushroom coffee.
Oh,
psychedelic mushroom.
Yeah. Him and Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, they got their little.
He tripping this morning.
3-point game.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I expect y'all to beat them and beat them handily. I'm gonna say Niners. I'm gonna say 37-20. 37-20.
Okay. I like that. I have the Niners winning 35-21. I think we'll win by, double digits easily. There might be. Now, let me tell you, Baker is like a caged animal. Because they already have to pass a lot. Now, they have Bucky Irvin, they have Rashad White, and they can run the ball, but they're better. Bucky can run. Rashad White is more of a passing kind of running back out the backfield. He has good hands. I think when their back is against the wall, Baker's going to come out swinging, throwing bombs, and trying to keep the game close. But I do like it 35-21. So I do expect him to throw for he'll probably have somewhat of impressive numbers, but Baker will throw for 350, 3 touchdowns, and have two interceptions. So he's going to put it all on the line. Of course, he plays with the proverbial chip on his shoulder, but I think it'll be a pretty good game. I think we'll handle business though. Let's move on to Cowboys.
The beat down of the week. Yeah,
the Cowboys and the Eagles. Now, the bad news for Dak there, and we talked about this offline, and I think Jerry Jones it seemed like he was tearful in his address, his radio, weekly radio address, was talking about Dak and maybe contemplating shutting him down for the season. Now, they're already talking about putting him on IR, although I don't believe that they put him on IR.
They haven't.
I think they haven't because they believe that it's going to be longer than the 4 weeks. So if it's going to be longer than 4 weeks and we're already in week 10,
right?
Why not let that? So he says Dak doesn't want to get the surgery. Dak wants to be out there with his boys. Dak just wants to make it look good. I'm getting $60 million a year. I just signed this loan. I want to seem like I'm going to fight. Now, what he needs to do is bow out gracefully, right? We've already learned when you have an opportunity to, if it says get surgery, go ahead and get the surgery. Now, I know he's getting married, and maybe there might be other factors that are impacting his decision to go ahead and get the surgery. But I think the sooner you get the surgery, the sooner you can start getting on the mend, right? If you prolong it, and I know sometimes certain injuries you have to require it takes time for the swelling to go down before they can actually, start the surgery. But if your hamstring and it's torn off the bone, what are you waiting for? Like, what are you looking for Cooper Rush to, I don't know what the rehab time is, but are you looking for Cooper Rush to start, next season? I mean, do you want to continue or should you just make the decision you're not coming back? And let's just say it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks from now, that would be week 16. What do you come? Why are you coming back? What would you come back for?
No, I agree.
So I don't understand what the indecision, and I gotta contemplate and think about it. If it was something where it could be 3 weeks and maybe 4, then you put someone IR, give them an extra week just to get their body back, and then they can go. And maybe just for the end, build momentum, which is the 2025. That's momentum is our church's 2025, our word for the year. But in any case,
dope.
They would build momentum into the season, but clearly it's over. So why would you? I don't get why would you even just shut him down and see what you have with Cooper Rush? Perhaps try out Trey Lance. Now everybody is saying because now all of a sudden Jalen Hurts has this mysterious ankle injury that you guys are susceptible to maybe losing a game. Now, I will say this. Let me say this on the record. I don't foresee it only because Cowboys can't stop the run. And unless Saquon doesn't run like he's been running the entire season, Dallas has no chance. But and the very small, minute amount of percentages that you lose to a Cooper Rush, CeeDee Lamb, one-dimensional team, Scrap, let me tell you, the next show, your team would be banned from this show. I have to say, there is no way that you guys should lose to Cooper Rush. Now, Cooper Rush is probably going to take less risk. He's probably going to be more. It's just like anything else. Have you ever?
No, he's not that kind of backup, though, D. He's a backup that throws the ball. He goes down the field. He's not no safe backup. He's not a guy that's going to just manage the team. Cooper Rush is going to, like he has. That's how he's been such a good backup for us.
I understand that. My point is, this is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to be scared to play. Okay. I said he's going. How is his passing, his touchdowns to interceptions? Dak is an interception machine. I'm saying that he is going to be more. Maybe the terms I used were wrong. I'm saying he's going to be more, maybe more precise, more getting the ball out faster because he doesn't have maybe the arm talent that Dak has. Or maybe he's just, because when you're on borrowed time, right? When you know this isn't your job, you're in no way is he going to become the starting quarterback for the Cowboys next season, no matter how great he plays, right? Because they're already locked in with Dak, right? If Dak didn't have an extension and this was the last year and it was still, should we sign Dak? Should we not? Perhaps if Cooper, let's say, balls out and somehow makes the season a respectable season, there might be some, discussions, although I don't think that still would happen.
No.
But because Cooper Rush really has no pressure on him, because really, realistically speaking, Jerry Jones, even in what is obvious to everyone else, still wants to keep the headlines going with the indecision of whether Dak is going to be shut down for the season or not. So he'll still drag it on like, okay, Dak is going to be done for the season. We have Cooper Rush. Boom. Nobody is game. When they know that the hamstring is off the bone and it's not even Thanksgiving yet, nobody is thinking about what Dak. No one's game planning for Dak anymore. Like, oh man, maybe he's coming back.
Right.
It's over. So it's over.
I agree,
it's
man.
Turkey wing at Disneyland. It's over.
It's not.
So I think they should just make the move and just say, hey, Cooper, we're gonna rock out. Let's see what we have with the young guys. CeeDee Lamb, you're going to get 15 targets a game, no matter what. And we're going to just get your numbers up. You are the bright spot of our offense. And that's it. What do you guys say?
Well, Cooper Rush is, I think, his job security is just being a Cowboys backup. It's not like he has aspirations to go be a starter anywhere. He can come out and have a game of his life, and it won't amount to anything for, you know, his future career. He's just going to be the Cowboys backup, and if he's not the Cowboys backup, he might be out of the league. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even know where he would go after that. Like, he could have a great game, and it's not like a team somewhere be like, you know what, next year we're going to sign him and put him as our quarterback. So he's just a backup quarterback. He's the Cowboys backup. So I think that on any given Sunday, we could lose this game because, you know, we have the what is it? We have a habit of playing down to our opponents. That's just like, you know, the nature of sports. Sometimes you don't play as hard when you're playing against a lesser opponent. I hope we don't do that this week. I hope we come out and just, you know, pillage. That's my word for the season. You know, hopefully there's more pillaging going on. I hope we Saquon them half to death and just, you know, grind them in the powder, like you like to say, D. And on that big 99-foot jumbotron, I want to see a bunch of sad faces, you know, wearing stars. But I think that we should beat them pretty handily. Like that I don't know about this Hurts injury because they were interviewing Sirianni and they were saying something. They were asking him stuff, and then when somebody mentioned the ankle, he was like that was a secret that wasn't supposed to get out. He even tried to like act like he didn't hear it. He was like,
he said rest at first. He was on rest,
exactly.
And then they were like, he said ankle, and then the reporter followed up and said, "Is he on rest or he has an ankle?"
Ankle.
No, it was rest. It was rest.
Yeah,
it was
right.
Rest.
Like it slipped out about his ankle or whatever. So I mean, even with that, like they said it might be a Kenny Pickett might start. Okay, whatever. We still got AJ. I don't know about AJ because I forgot the knee injury, but we still got Devontae. We getting Goddard back this week. We still got Saquon, of course, and you know we got another good tight end in Calcaterra. Like we have the personnel to win this game, and on the other side, our defense is playing good. I didn't know that our rookie cornerback held. Did y'all see that list I sent y'all? Those notable names that he held to under 25 yards receiving.
Did y'all see that? That was impressive.
Oh, your rookie corner? Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell, man. I mean, he's held the light. This guy, a guy he held, just had a career night last night. He held him under 25 yards. Jamal, what's his name? Jamal Chase, or whatever his name is.
Jamal Chase. Yeah.
Jamar Chase. Yeah, he didn't get more than 25 yards against our. So CD is in for a long day, basically. That's what I'm telling you, right? CD's in for a long day. Y'all better feed Talbert or Tolbert and fire up Brandon Cooks and get. And that new dude you just got, that Mingo, y'all better get Mingo going. Y'all better have all hands on deck because y'all gonna need it, man. I mean, I feel like we're gonna come in there and we're gonna punch on you guys, and we're gonna punch on you guys all game. Now, what I hope don't happen is what happened last game, where this guy leaves points on the field. Take every point that's available to you. Okay, and as far as going for it on fourth down, I don't think that we should come out the gate doing that. I think those fourth down plays, if it's not a half a yard push, no brainer, then that's different. But if it's like 2 and 3, you gotta go with the feel of the game, like how the momentum is going. If we don't have momentum and you're just trying to just grab for straws, I think that'll spell disaster. But I think that his backup is Cooper Rush. Yeah, so we're gonna rush Cooper.
I mean,
we're gonna rush Cooper. I'm looking at us to have at least between. I say a good day on Rush is a good 5 sacks maybe. I think he's gonna get sacked like 5 times, and he may throw 2 picks.
Yeah.
I got my rookie getting a pick this week because he's just playing too good, and it was a couple times he could have had picks, but. CJ ran into him against who was that? I guess against the Browns. He had a surefire pick, and him and Gardner Johnson ran into each other. And then I don't think Slade's playing, and I like how Rodgers been playing backup. You know, Isaiah Rodgers been playing good back there. Like our secondary looks good now. You know, so hopefully Slay will be out another couple weeks. You know, we can. Yeah, I agree with you on that one too, bro. Yeah, Barkley. I didn't even want to bring him up. He's going to run roughshod on you guys, man, because it's still a division. It's still a divisional opponent. You know, he hates you guys from when he was in Jersey. The things y'all used to do to him. So now that he has a chance to, you know, punch back and actually get a W out of the thing, yeah, he's going to it won't be no backwards hurdles, man, because they drug tested us after that, man. I don't understand that, man. You do a backwards hurdle, all of a sudden you got
yeah,
in the cup.
yeah.
So
You got
we're not gonna do no super.
You gotta be doped up.
No superhuman feats this week, man. We just gonna ground and pound you guys, man. And it's gonna be a short day for you, Rod, because you'll probably turn the channel after the first, you know, half maybe.
No, I'm not even watching the game. I got a service I gotta go to tomorrow afternoon, so I'm not even gonna be watching the game, honestly. So
yeah, all right, yeah.
Are you gonna DVR it?
Yeah, yeah, I have it on DVR because I got the package, so I can watch all the games. It'll be recorded. So
you know. Question: if you check the score and it's out of control, are you still going to watch it?
I would probably only watch it because I would want to go back and look at it. I just want to see, because I could do key plays. They'll do like maybe 50 key plays from the game. Or you could watch the whole game if you choose to, or anywhere where you want to, you know, scroll it to. But I would watch just to see what we did. It'd be my own little all 22 in a way, just kind of see what we how horrific the play calls are, and
you're gonna need more hooch. You're gonna need more hooch. You're gonna need more hooch in that.
You know what? I got a confession, Donald. It's funny that you said, "Am I all right?" Maybe
here we go. No, come on. Here comes. Yo, the setup is not even. You can tell when he's still picking at his ear, looking off.
You know what? It's okay. We're playing the Eagles this week, and this is how you know when you're a fan of a team, and you know that when you're playing a division rival, feelings change, right? It's like I already said. Look, I've conceded to this season. It's bad. It's worse than what I thought, and that's really disappointing because even though you know you have a great team, you thought maybe okay, but you lose some games already. But now you're playing the Eagles, right? A rival who you split with in the past. Dak has always had a lot of success against the Eagles. He's had a winning record against them in his career. And it's the Eagles, right? You know, the radio stations this week, they get into it. Their prime station out there in Philly talks with the 105 guys, and they go at it, and they just mad, beef, and and it's all the tongue in cheek, of course, but it's still we call them sometimes. And
hey, Rod,
your internet is acting crazy.
Your internet is
supposed to be after the game. Yeah, this supposed to be after the game.
Really?
That's supposed to be in that.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
When we do a recap of the game,
right?
The internet's supposed to be. I'm like, what?
He got the recap.
Am I still clear now? No, am I still jacked up? I don't know what else to do. Am I still jacked up?
You're blurry. You're blurry. Now you're sounding. Your sound is fine. People know what you look like. You got the witness protection. Yeah, he got the
kung fu.
Oh, really? Okay, let me change that out.
Saturday morning.
Karate. Talk or whatever.
What about now?
Your mouth stopped moving, and we can still hear you talking.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
you're back. You back now. You back.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, let me make this quick because I said a lot, and I'll just make this quick, man. I'm feeling sad because it's like when you're coming against a team that you have such, a very passionate rival with, and your team is just not going to win. Your team won't even be able to put up a fight. And you look at what we've done this year: deplorable wins, bad L's, poor execution, bad play calling. The team is disarrayed. We're just a hot mess every which way you look at it. Defense is ranked one of the worst against the run, against the pass. And, I honestly predict that the Eagles will have over 200 yards rushing between Hurts and Barkley and Gainwell even. We just don't have it. We gave up sacks even to a poor rushing team, a poor pass rush team in Atlanta last week, and a team that only came in the league into that game with six sacks. and we gave up 3 of them in the first quarter of that game.
Man.
The offense line is bad. Zach Martin is going to definitely retire after this year. He's already been kind of hinting to that. He was talking about it. He's bad. It's not even, you could just see father time. It has nothing to do with execution or anything. He's gone. He's only but a shell of himself. Terrence Steele is bad. Never really recuperated from his injury. It's the O-line is really, really horrible. Other than maybe Tyler Smith is giving us a little something out All-Pro last year, but outside of that, it's to no effect. Rush is back there now. You don't, Cooper's nice, nice little serviceable, respectable backup, but he won't be enough against the Eagles. The Eagles are playing way too good right now. They got a lot of momentum, and it hurts. It really, I distanced myself a little bit this year, not really being engaged. And I know my co-hosts here, they love this. They love this deep down inside. It makes them feel good. My only revenge will be at the end of the year when they all fall short to Patrick. But outside of that, it's right now. I gotta eat this, man.
You know what? I'm not enjoying this as much as I thought I would. Seeing you like this, I'm really not enjoying this as much as I thought it would.
Man. We're going to get the brakes beaten off. It's going to be a lot of pillaging tomorrow, as Scrap would say. And it's going to be really bad. It's going to be bad. It really is.
James said he hoped we lose. I mean, which is not, not a surprise,
But I will say this. If you guys, listen.
Here we go.
Hear me out. If
he's about to waste the upset alert.
Lose, I'm not going to waste an upset alert.
Oh, okay.
If you guys lose, scrap. I'm telling you, if you lose, because this is also the bright side. Micah's supposed to be coming back.
Okay.
So no, I'm not saying that he's a world beater, right? But Micah will provide some pressure, and if Jalen Hurts is not 100%, or he is not as mobile as we've seen him this year. Let's just say, for whatever reason, he has this ankle injury and he stays in the pocket more. Well, that provides more of an opportunity to either, strip sack him or try to, he can fumble the ball. He can turn the ball over. You're not going to have your number one receiver, right? So you're going into this game.
AJ Brown is out. Yeah, I forgot about that.
AJ Brown is out. Now, obviously, Saquon Barkley is, the difference maker. If they can run the ball effectively, like Saquon has been, then, they can win the game. But there are some factors that give at least the Cowboys an opportunity. Cooper Rush, if he can get the ball out timely and, they have at least try to commit to the run, try to do something with the run. I don't think it's with Hurts being out, Brown, Hurts being injured. To what extent, we don't know. Brown being out and Micah coming back and the unknown of Cooper Rush, right? Because no one prepares. You can look at some video, but only has 6 starts, right? So you don't know what he's going to do.
I know he's going to do
of Dak more so than Cooper Rush. So I think that he's a bit of an X factor. We'll see if, I think there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. I do say there's a chance. I won't put them on upset alert, but I do say.
And Don, you know what? I feel that right there, what you said is probably coming from a place of,
hatred for the Eagles.
25 years of friendship and our, closeness and our,
Don't forget hatred for the Eagles. Don't forget that part.
And hatred for the Eagles, because Don does hate the Eagles, as he hates the Cowboys too. But I that was a nice, kind sentiments, D, and I really do appreciate that. I really do. I think and I appreciate it, but unfortunately, Don, even with Micah's return, which is nice to have back, I like to see Micah go off a little this year. I want him to stat pad if he can, stay out there, get a couple sacks, get whatever he can for the year as he's playing throughout the year. But when you look at this team and just knowing how fragmented this team is, lame duck coach, no innovation.
Did y'all pay Micah yet or no?
No, not yet. He will get paid after this year. Yeah, they'll pay.
He's going to look good in Midnight Green next year. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah. They'll keep Micah. They'll pay him. That's why they have to pay Dak and CD to open up the cap, which will have more room next year for Micah. That's part of it.
Okay.
Right. So I'm sure they'll resign him if Micah wants to stay. But if you ask me, honestly, if I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think Micah should resign. I think Micah should move on to greener pastures. I think there's something better. He'll make more the brand of the Cowboys, but if he wants to win, I think he needs to do that, because Dallas is not going to get a coach that's going to come in there and bring culture and discipline, because that's going to take away from Jerry's autonomy to run the team. And so he's going to pick an old school guy with the archaic, obsolete mindset and approach.
Do you have his email? I can send him a brochure with greener pastures on it.
Well, I mean, it'll be green because it's Philly and it's Eagles, but I don't know.
No, I'm not saying that. Now that's tampering, Rod. That's tampering. That I will send him.
That's what they'll say. They'll look at it and be like, this is green. This looks like what teams are green in the league, you know what I mean? But then again,
you got plenty of green teams. Packers,
Packers green, yeah.
Well, it's other. We're not gonna name all the teams.
Well, they're kind of known for their yellow cheese, more or less. But if you think of green, you might think of the Eagles first, though. But but again. Scrap, you got it, man. I'm not gonna you got it. Yeah. You got it. Jets are green too. Yeah, and then their whole game green thing, which is their kind of somewhat their mantra. But yeah, I think it's a wrap, guys. So y'all will win this to Scrap kind of handedly. I just wish we would be a more formidable opponent. I wish we were able to really say that we could give you guys, something to kind of work with competition wise, but it won't be that way. You'll do what the Baltimore Ravens did pretty much with the whole.
What's your score for this then?
Before you give it a score, I just want this last ditch effort to pump a little more air in your lungs. You said you would either sweep them or split.
I did. And I'm coming on here now to say I have to regrettably retract that statement. How
many concession speeches are we going to have this week?
Yeah, I'm just giving you my VP Harris version right now.
You still got a chance for the last game, though, right? Because we'll probably be resting everybody. Y'all get to play against, the Will Shipleys of the world.
True. And then by that time we'll be in full evaluation mode, and we'll see what happens by then. I'll be looking at some other guys and just be happy to see what some of our future could look like, which still isn't bright. And even with AJ Brown, I forgot he wasn't playing, but yeah, we don't have anybody. Carson is trash on the other side, so. Swift will probably have a day. Diggs is questionable. He'll probably play, but he's actually hurt.
He's going back into robotic mode now.
Yeah,
listen.
Yeah,
right. You're which court? Your team is like your internet. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah, that's the sign. Yeah.
Let's get a score before everything shuts down. Let's get a score.
Go ahead, Rod. Get your score.
Go ahead, Rod.
It'll be 43-12.
What?
Yeah. 43-12. Yeah.
43-12. I wasn't even going to say that.
Yeah, 43-12. Oh, yeah. This game is going to look a lot like Detroit, Baltimore, and New Orleans. Absolutely.
All right. I feel like, for some reason, Sirianni's going to be up to his old tricks with leaving points on the field. So I'm not going to go 43. I'm going to say 32 to. I'm going to say 17. 32-17. Yeah, 32-17. Yeah, I think y'all going to get into the end zone a few times. That Dowdy and Turpin might get in there. Those little guys that like to sneak around behind the defense. I think they might get into the end zone. But y'all going to score a little bit.
Listen, I gotta say, I really give Dallas a shot, man. I do think the Eagles are gonna win. But I'm gonna say 27-24. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a field goal game. I feel it. Yeah.
I don't know.
You know why? Because let me tell you. I am a little concerned, and I'm going to give you the reason why I feel this. I'm a little concerned with how truthful the Eagles have been about Jalen Hurts' injury. I think Jalen Hurts, if he doesn't come out of that pocket and he becomes a pocket quarterback, and he has to stay in the pocket and he can't roll out and extend, I think he's a different quarterback. So without having AJ Brown is a beast. No AJ Brown and a limited quarterback, even with Saquon, I think that keeps it close.
Oh my God.
You're going to have a pass rush from the Cowboys, whether it's a great or not.
So. They got a better. They got a better line. The Eagles. Their offensive line is good. They have
a good offensive line, but now you're going to have Micah. That's going to put. But remember, Jalen.
And you don't know how Micah's going to look. Remember, he's been out. You don't even know. He might be on a limited snap count even going in if they're trying to keep him for the season, save him for the season. So I don't know if he's going to be full throttle. At least I don't anticipate. Am I still going in and out? I'm sorry.
No,
you're good now. Yeah,
James, listen. I think the Cowboys winning.
James, Cowboys, that's funny. I like that. That's funny.
the Cowboys potentially winning, honestly, it's twofold, right? It knocks down Scrap a couple of pegs, and it gives Rod hope that they won't be in last place in the division. So I think it works out. It's the best case scenario for me, for the Cowboys to either win the game or come close. So Scrap knows the Eagles aren't as good as he thinks they are. And then it gives Rod a little bit of hope. His what-ups won't be, a defeated what-up. He'll be feeling somewhat better. Yeah. And I think it's, so 27-24.
The only time I see you really like confident that a team can actually have a chance to be close is when somebody's not playing. Every time, if we're fully healthy, you don't.
If you had your full team and Hurts was healthy, no, it would be you'd win by 3 touchdowns. Well,
yeah, that's the thing.
All right, just checking. I mean, because matter of fact, you know what? I'm putting you on upset alert. Buccaneers.
Oh. He did that before. He did that before.
And I was right.
And he was right. I picked against
that was early in the season.
I picked against the Eagles, and he changed his pick.
I was tired of his stuff then, man.
And yeah. Let's see. I didn't pick against you guys. I just think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be 27-24. It'll be a field goal game.
But you was able to hedge though, because you said, well, if Dallas winning is not far-fetched, like you hedged it.
Right. It's not far-fetched. I don't think it's far-fetched given the injuries and given the fact that
it's far-fetched.
Yeah.
Like
I feel about this team lost.
Fetched is all way in
far-fetched is right there.
Fetch is in Sacramento from you right now.
Right.
It's far.
Pretty much.
The way you feel that your team is going to beat the Bucs, right? And how animated you became when I said Mike Evans can make a difference. And you're like, I don't care if Mike Evans walks on water. It's not going to matter. We're going to beat the brakes off this team. Why? Because of who's coming back.
That's not
looking. No, but what I'm saying is
that's not a fair comparison. We're getting healthier and they have injuries. So
right. So my point is Dak isn't healthy, so that's a huge loss. We know that. But even if Dak played, guys, it wouldn't make a difference. That's the comparison I'm making is that Dallas is so bad. Even when they got a full arsenal, they still don't have a good team. You have poor play calling. Other things contribute.
Yeah, this season's a wrap for you.
So the receiver that we were talking about in Cincinnati, Alcivor, whatever his name is. He had 4 touchdowns. How many touchdowns? Now that we're talking about how many touchdowns does CeeDee Lamb have?
Oh, I'll tell you. I'll tell you that. No problem.
I'll tell you. He was right. High voice
on his tiptoes.
He's got 4 touchdowns, but he has 53 receptions for 660 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So
is he a number 1 receiver?
Yes, here we go.
Wait.
Now listen. Now I know I'm a
that's a number 3. That's a number 3 receiver.
You're not going to do that.
That is a number 3 receiver on Cincinnati.
Oh my gosh!
Wait a minute.
You know who the second place was? You know the second receiver in our team with the most catches? Jalen Tolbert with 30. He's 23 yards. 23 catches less than CeeDee Lamb. So
why did you release balloons for that?
I didn't. I'm not looking at it.
He's celebrating mediocrity. He's like,
yeah. Well, look, that's all I can get, man. I ain't gonna get nothing else. It ain't like I'm gonna get.
This is
using an iPhone camera. Scrap.
Yeah, I'm on an iPad.
You could just go.
We don't celebrate mediocrity over here on this iPad.
So,
right, you don't have the mediocrity update on this one.
Exactly. Let me just ask you this. Cincinnati, you don't even know the receiver, the number 3. We can't pronounce his name, but he has the same amount of touchdowns as Cowboys' number 1 receiver.
Look at his
Is he a number 1 receiver?
Number 1 don't go by touchdowns. D. Alvin Harper had more touchdowns in some seasons than Michael Irvin. Was he a number 1?
Who?
No. Yeah, see? Exactly.
No. I understand that.
Are we going back in time again?
No, I'm making my point is that you don't have to be your number 1 receiver doesn't have to lead in touchdowns. It's targets, it's yards, it's how the game is played differently and the impact that receiver makes on a defense. Come on, D, you know this. You're not going to sit here and say CD ain't a number 1 receiver.
Now, not this year. He's not. Not this year. Not this year. He isn't this year. He isn't.
He's not, and he leads he's got 23 more receptions than the second place guy on the team. How is he not?
What is he doing with those extra 23 though?
He's putting up yards. He's creating matchup issues in some places or another. I mean, he's still impact. You're looking at touchdowns is not it. Touchdowns that touchdowns is good, but that don't make you a number 1 a receiver or anything. That's like
you need
somebody all the way
touchdowns
down the field and then somebody else scores. I mean, what does that do? That don't mean nothing.
Do you need touchdowns to win games?
Anybody can score touchdowns, but you need somebody to get you down the field. But you do to score touchdowns. Somebody's got to be able to make plays to get down there. It ain't always the guy that scored in touchdowns making the plays to get the team down there. I mean, Jennings makes big plays. Touchdowns. Jennings probably have more touchdowns than Ayuk this year. Does that make him better than Ayuk?
He has more touchdowns than CeeDee Lamb too. Oh, Lord. So don't bring up Jennings. He's had more impressive games than CeeDee Lamb has this year. So please don't bring him up. They might have the same amount of yards.
But is he better than CeeDee Lamb? Hey, Scrap, do me a favor. Answer this for me.
This year. We talk about this year.
Please be objective as possible. Please, I just want you either you got to take your Philly hat off so you're not getting anything, kind of compromising your thought with something.
Listen, I'm totally unbiased.
All right, because and you should be. Your team is going to rock tomorrow. You're going to be good. Who would you rather have on your team? Would it be Jennings or CeeDee Lamb? Please, Scrap. Please, I beg you, Scrap. Oh my God, the length of time, the silence is
CeeDee Lamb. I was letting you finish your build up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
CeeDee Lamb. I'd rather have CeeDee Lamb.
Thank you, Scrap. Thank you.
No, and that's fine. But this year, can you tell me, Rod? Can you tell me CeeDee Lamb's numbers? And we're going to wrap the show. Just tell me CeeDee Lamb's numbers as a number 1 receiver this year, please. 2024, not his body of work. What he's done this year.
Let's do this. Let me pull something up here. Okay.
I just need this year though. Don't give me
this year. No, I'm gonna give you Oklahoma
numbers this year.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you. I'm sick of this. Hold on. Let me see. Rushing, receiving. Okay. For this year. All right. So we're gonna look. We'll look at numbers here. All right. CD is in the top 5. Jamar Chase.
No. Just give me his numbers. I know who's above him.
Okay.
Just give me his numbers.
53 receptions for CeeDee Lamb. He's got 660 yards. He's averaging 12.5 yards a catch. He has 4 touchdowns as long as it's a 65. Okay. All right. And so that's what he has. And he is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's the 5th top receiver in the league.
Okay.
Okay. Behind Jamar Chase, Jefferson, Flowers, and Garrett Wilson. Okay.
And I'm going to do a blind comparison. Said receiver has 25 receptions, 404 yards receiving, an average of 16.2 a reception, and 3 TDs. Now let me redirect the question. Scrap. Would you rather pay someone $28 million more for Rod's numbers, or save $28 million and get 25 receptions, 404 yards, 16.2 yards?
How many targets does he have? Does Jennings get double teamed? Does anybody plan for Jennings?
Who said Jennings? I said this was a blind. This was a blind comparison.
A blind comparison. So what do you mean blind comparison? To what?
Let me tell you, CD's numbers. There is a whole bunch of players that are producing what CD has produced.
But D, those are all number one receivers on their team. When you look at Jamar Chase, Jefferson, Flowers, Garrett Wilson,
are they number one by targets or number one by production?
They're number one by production, and CD is fifth in the league by production. These guys, Jamar Chase has 66 receptions. He's got 981 yards, 15 yards a pop on per reception. Okay, and he's got 10 TDs.
What's the difference between give me the difference between number 4 and number 5?
Okay, number 4 is Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson has 60 receptions to CD's 53. He's got 94 targets compared to CD's 84 targets. He's Garrett Wilson, who's number 4, is averaging a yard less than what CD is getting per catch, and he has only one more touchdown than CD Lamb. Heck, even Justin Jefferson only has 5 touchdowns. He only has 5 touchdowns. That's all he got. That's what I'm saying. Being a number 1 is not scoring touchdowns. Being number 1 is affecting a defensive scheme and an offensive scheme and the pressure that they put on how you play the game. That's what that is.
Other than Garrett Wilson,
that does that on your team.
Other than Garrett Wilson, all of those other teams are playoff teams, right?
What? Now we going into a playoff team. What does that got to do?
You said the number 1 affects winning, right? It's not always about touchdowns. It's about and impacting a game.
Well,
to win.
that's the CD. Now you're making my point. See, the Cowboys are not a playoff team, but yet CD is still balling enough to be the 5th best receiver in the league.
So wait. Let me ask you a question.
On a bad team.
You really think CD is balling this year? He's
not. No, it's not like what he had the last 2 years. No, not at all. Nobody will say he's balling like he's looking like what he was the last 2 years.
So balling. He's playing in a number 1 role, but he's not balling. Okay,
but
can we agree with that?
At his stats. Only reason why you're thinking it doesn't look as stellar because Dallas is not winning. That's the only reason why it doesn't look like he's balling. He's not balling, but he's not playing bad either. I'm telling you right what this numbers say. He's the 5th best receiver in the league behind Chase, Jefferson, Flowers, and Wilson. I don't even see a 49er on this list. I see Deebo Samuels and Jawan Jennings is 43 and 44.
Yep. This just tacked on 45 minutes.
No. I'm not gonna. We're
not going to engage.
I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go.
I can't win no games, so I got to win an argument. I'm just trying to tell you, D. I'm just saying. I mean, come on. You gonna tell me right now that CD is not at least still a top wide receiver in this league and a number 1, and he's still better than any receiver you got.
This year, CD Lamb is a top 5 or considered a number 1 receiver. A lot of it is based on what he has done historically, and a lot of it is based on name recognition. This is a down season for CD Lamb.
I'm giving you the 2024 stats.
This is a down season for him. This is a down season for CD Lamb.
His numbers of what he put up before, yes, it is. That again, you're making my point because as a number 1 receiver, you're saying, okay, he's having a down season, but he's not having that bad of a season compared even when you look at the other guys. That Zay Flowers has 50 catches, and he's got 688 yards. See, so he's got 28 yards. He's got 28 yards more than CD, and he's got 3 more receptions than CD. That's it. Jefferson has 48 catches and CD has 53. He's got more receptions than Justin Jefferson. And he only got about 120 more yards than what CD has. And Jefferson is on a winning team right now, and the Vikings are winning. And we got a bad quarterback play and no running game. So when you put that in perspective, he's having a good season. Is it a stellar season like what he's had the last 2 years? No, because Dallas is not winning.
Those other teams have at least either a good run game or a balance, right? A balanced attack. The fact is, if you are one-dimensional, so how is it that Jamar Chase, whether you want to think Chase Brown, which I think is a serviceable running back, if you don't think he is mixing, okay, he's not mixing.
He's not.
One-dimensional team, if you want to say it, Jamar Chase, because Higgins was out. You can't stop them. There are games that we have a discussion offline where we say CD is not involved. They have been able to take him out. And that's why I question if he's a number 1 receiver. Because according to your terms, number 1 receivers cannot be taken out of a game. Am I lying with that, Scrap? Isn't he adamant about saying
I've heard those words come from Rob.
Number ones can't be taken out. And for me, looking at games, I'm doing the eye test, not so much what the end result is, because you can force feed somebody pass after pass, but if they're not getting separation or not getting anything after it, or they're just, a little dump off and they wind up getting 2 yards, yeah, you can give them a ton of passes for 2 yards. Even you said it in the text message. You say, "Oh, these screens are going nowhere." So if he has 25 screens that amount to 45 yards, let's just say over the course of the season so far, should I be impressed by the amount of targets he gets?
But your argument doesn't stand, because again, when you look at the stats of the other receivers, the 4 other receivers that are statistically ahead of him, the numbers are not that disparaged, because those guys get big plays running crossers and deep post routes and go routes, which CD doesn't really run a lot because we have a very limited route tree. But he's still within the realm of
the route tree is on who? Is it on the coach or is it on the receiver?
That's on the coach. That's not on CD. The receivers don't develop their route tree. That's on the offensive coordinators and the game planners. They install the game plans and the OC. That's that.
So you're telling me that Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, even Garrett Wilson, they do only what the coach tells them to do to get open. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, CD, that's how it works. You don't just arbitrarily run a route that you just feel you
I'm talking about as the play breaks down. But
that's not every play. Not every play breaks down. I'm saying that's you bringing up an anomaly. That's not.
So you're putting the limited. So the coaching staff is limiting.
You're saying that. You're saying
CeeDee Lamb's skill. You're saying the coaching or the quarterback is limiting what CeeDee Lamb is able to do. How about DeAndre Hopkins, for example, who's had bad quarterbacks other than Deshaun Watson, and now that he has Patrick Mahomes, has had bad quarterbacks, and he is pretty much quarterback proof.
But you're changing the argument. You said that CD's numbers are probably misleading because he gets a lot of little routes and little screens and all these other little things, so that pads his numbers to some degree. Is that what you were trying to imply?
Yeah, and you said he has a limited route tree, right?
Right.
And that's solely on the coach.
How does that make sense against the numbers of the other guys who run more developed routes, who have time to go down the field, which Dallas doesn't have time
because they're more developed. They're more developed receivers.
But their numbers are not that much greater than Justin Jefferson. CD has 660 yards. Jefferson has 783. Okay, outside of Jamar Chase, who's way above everybody, Zay Flowers has 688, Garrett Wilson has 663, and CD has 660. And those guys they run way more routes than what CD runs. So if that was the case, if CD was only just running limited routes, which he does, okay, how is it then that he still has numbers that are comparable to theirs? That's the point I'm trying to make. So
let me ask you a question. Do you think Michael Irvin was a number one receiver?
Yes, he was. He's a Hall of Famer.
Okay. I didn't ask where he ended.
Well, that in itself should tell you.
I'm asking you.
Number 2, 3 receivers that in the Hall of Fame?
2 or 3.
I mean, a number 2 or number 3 receiver in the Hall of Fame.
Can get into the Hall of Fame. They can. Number 2s can get into the Hall of Fame. Now, let me ask you.
Yeah, they can.
Right? Because I can give you a Vikings.
Worthless one. Yeah, I can give you.
Yeah, I can give you a Viking duo that they ended up in the Hall of Fame. All right. So, if Michael Irvin is a Hall of Famer, right? And you said he's a number 1 receiver.
Yes, he was.
If he only
number 1 receiver.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
Absolutely.
Before we go any further.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Great receiver. No argument here. If Michael Irvin wasn't getting the ball as a number 1, what do you think he would do to the coach, to the offensive coordinator as a number 1? Do you think Jamar Chase, if he's not getting the ball, would be okay with so-called?
Did that last year. Remember when y'all beat the brakes off of us and before we went in our bye? And the whole talk of that break was CD was complaining. That's why he was riffing with them and said, I need the ball. I'm not getting the ball. And after that, that's when CD really went on this tear. We played the Chargers the following week after the bye after he lost to y'all. And then we went on like a 6-7 game winning streak. and CD was balling because he was getting the ball. Now,
okay, so now we have to it goes through every 10 weeks. We have to do this.
It's just that this team is not good. The offensive line is not playing good. D, to run these kind of routes, you need time. You got to have the time. You got to give the quarterback time for those routes to develop. And they don't develop enough. And Dak don't run. He gets happy feet back there. He gets scared. And we saw that in this last game against Atlanta. He's scared to run. He doesn't win. He had a couple. He ran our longest run this year. 22-yard run came from our quarterback. The longest run we had this year. Meanwhile,
congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you on that. We appreciate that. You know what I'm trying to say? Meanwhile, Barkley's going down the field backwards, jumping over guys for 45-yard runs. So,
we got drug tested after that, man.
Yeah, he needs to be drug tested. But my point is, we can't. It's not the same team anymore. So CD can say, I want the ball, but CD, how are we going to get you the ball? We can't. You got to get the ball downfield. We don't have the time to throw. We don't have no running game. So play action is dead. No one's respecting play action anymore. You're not putting 8 guys in a box. So that's it. You know what I mean? It's a wrap. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's the team is just not good. But
so the Cowboys are the only team. Let me ask you: the Cowboys are the only team with a number 1 receiver, no running game that can't produce. There's no other team. Are you suggesting there's no other team in that similar position where the offense, one player or the receiver, they can't get the ball to their number 1? According to you and statistically, a top 5 receiver.
I would have to research it. I couldn't tell off the top of my head, but I don't know anybody off the top of my head. What team do you know that has the dead last in the league in rushing and has the number 1 receiver that's still top 5 right now statistically in the league?
This is perfect. Ravens game versus Cowboys proves Lamb is slacking on.
Chase
murdered the Ravens secondary. Chase murdered.
Chase has a better quarterback. And Chase, and the Bengals technically, for all intents and purposes, are a better team than Dallas, despite what their record shows. Dallas is not a good team.
But we're talking about CeeDee Lamb.
That don't make it that. No,
we're talking about CeeDee Lamb. So CeeDee Lamb, we've talked a lot about CeeDee Lamb.
I don't understand your question. I mean, I understand your question, but D, there's no other team that has a bad dead last running game with a top 5 with a receiver that's still in the top 5 statistically. What team has that? Name a team. Name a team that you know that has a bad running game like Dallas and still has a receiver statistically in the top 5 of the league.
A one-dimensional.
A one-dimensional team like Dallas.
One-dimensional
team like Dallas.
Cue the Jeopardy music on this one.
Who do you have? And you look at the top 5. Chase, you just said Johnson or their running back is serviceable, right? Jefferson. They're winning. They're playing on a good team. They got a running game. Baltimore, we know. Garrett Wilson, we know their old boy, their running back is good. They got a
Breece Hall.
Breece
Hall.
They good. So that's what I'm trying to say. And then the Packers, Jaden Reed is behind CD's number 6. Packers can run the ball. Washington can run the ball with Terry McLaurin, who's CD's actually having a better year than him. Okay. All right. Statistically. And then you got the Jaguars, Brian Thomas is number 8. Now maybe I don't know about their running game. I got to pull the stat real quick.
Their running game.
How many touchdowns does? I don't know why you brought up McLaurin. How many touchdowns does he have? I know touchdowns don't matter. You don't need touchdowns.
He got 6 touchdowns. And
I don't know if you need touchdowns to win games.
He's got 6
touchdowns. This is a.
But he's not number 1 scoring touchdowns. So your number 1 receiver, the only guy that's going to score touchdowns.
Here we go. 2-hour show loading.
Okay.
All right. Let's listen. We won't talk about the. You guys want to talk about the NBA? You want to talk about the Lakers? You want to talk about the second coming of Pat Riley as your coach?
I'm good.
Right?
I'm good. I tell you what we do. Next show, we're gonna start out with NBA. Why don't we do that? We will start out with NBA because we know we're gonna go into the NFL anyway. We'll start out maybe with a little NBA. This way we can get in there.
Yeah, because right now all 3 of our teams are like.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, AD is balling. Okay, now AD is AD.
Is he hurt? Is he hurt?
Who? AD?
Didn't he take a? Wasn't he out of game or something?
He didn't play the other night. Other night.
Oh, he played last night. Though. He played last night.
Hurt. Yeah, he was
load management.
He hurt. Why was he out?
He hurt. So that's
only 10 games in.
But Joel Meek, he hurt.
Why is AD out already? Is my question.
He was out one game so far this year. You know me. I hate it. I don't think he should have not been out. I agree. We're not even 10 games in the season, and guys are taking off. Well, you got to direct those questions to that guy.
So let me tell you.
He's your resident.
Given the Brooklyn Nets, yes, everyone knows that's my team. We don't have a superstar, but I like the way we're playing in comparison to both of your teams with superstars and top 10 players. I think we're doing a good job considering. And if Giannis gets sick and tired of Milwaukee and makes that trip to Brooklyn, I think listen. We got the money.
What are he gonna go to Brooklyn for?
He wants out of Milwaukee for sure. And he was talking about the two teams potentially would be Miami and the Nets. So
he said the Nets.
He said the Nets.
Oh.
He said Brooklyn.
Did he say that?
He said Brooklyn or
I'll do my
Miami.
research, and next show I'll have more of an opinion on that.
Yeah. You're right. I got to do some research on it. I know he.
Yeah, but your stars got to play first before you have an opinion on anything, Scrap.
No, I don't, because you know what goes down when my stars play.
Yeah, he pushes people down in the locker room.
Whatever. That's not playing. That's not when he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing when that happened. Well, he definitely wasn't playing when that happened.
No, I'm just joking.
No.
All right.
Cam Thomas though. He's coming into a star role though. 26 points a game. He's coming.
He is.
Y'all got some bright spots, man.
Dennis Schroeder's playing really good, averaging 20 with 7 assists.
Yeah. Doing good. Hey, y'all good. Y'all doing all right, man.
Yeah. Static. It's definitely time for us to get off.
Yeah, it's time now. It's time now.
Between internet glitches and static. Well, listen, fellas, good show.
Robot glitch.
Yeah. Enjoy the games tomorrow, guys. Enjoy the games.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy them. I think you
appreciate you, James.
There's a chance, man. There's a chance, Rod.
There's a chance.
Here we go.
Shout out to everyone that joined us today. Good show, fellas. Until next time, everyone. Peace.